Welcome back, our most valued viewers, to a very disturbing and sinister episode of Historic Facts in a Nutshell. This episode is about the devastating and deadly effects of the bubonic plague that swept through London in 1665. Things were about to get significantly worse for the already poor and destitute people of London in 1665, when a deadly and terrifying plague began to sweep its way through the densely populated slums, beginning in the district of St. Giles in the Fields, just outside of central London, and rapidly spreading like wildfire. Individuals would die within a matter of days from the Black Death, otherwise known as the bubonic plague. The plague possibly originated from China and was brought over in trade ships. As news spread of a new and terrifying sickness, the rich and the king swiftly left the city. The poor left behind became sick. The bubonic plague began its murderous journey. The symptoms would begin with coughs and sneezes and then rapidly overwhelm the body with extreme temperatures. Red sores would appear, often in the shape of rings, before bulging black pustules disfigured the body. These pustules, known as buboes, often appeared in the armpit, groin or neck, swelling to unimaginable sizes and sometimes bursting, to further spread the disease. At its later stages, muscles would seize and cramp. They would cough up blood in fits of delirium. Catching the plague was almost certainly a death sentence, and most would die within a week. In an attempt to curb the spread, the diseased were isolated with their whole households, even those who were not sick themselves. Red crosses were painted on the threshold and guards often posted to keep the doomed souls captured within. A death sentence for sure for anybody locked inside, healthy or not. For the rich who remained, such as the Mayor of London and certain civil servants, a plague doctor would have been called. By midway through 1665, most local apothecaries were closed due to death, and the majority of London's suburbs left to fend for themselves. However, the plague doctor, a looming and terrifying figure in a hooked beak mask, did little for his patients, mistakenly believing the plague was spread by miasma, or bad air. They stuffed their masks with sweet-smelling flowers and burned incense to ward off the disease. This did nothing against the spread of infection, which actually came from the bites of fleas on the rats, which infested the London slums. Another mistake which cost dearly was the belief that the stray dogs and cats of the city were the cause. Dog and cat catchers were employed and locals rewarded to bring bags of the poor exterminated animals. Without predators, the rat population thrived. At its worst, around 7,000 people were dying a day in London, and up to 100,000 in total likely lost their lives to the Black Death. This could be around 15–20% of the population, which would be over 1 million people in today's population. The government could not handle the sheer amount of bodies and dead. Bodies were unceremoniously dumped on carts pulled through along cobbled roads, as the dead collectors sang, "Bring out your dead," through the abandoned and melancholy streets. Just outside of London and into the neighbouring counties, plague pits were dug as mass graves for the unfortunate victims. The sudden reduction in population, and a growing immunity to the disease, meant the death rates eventually fell in 1666, to a point where some of the rich and the king felt they could return. Many believe that the remainder of the plague was wiped out during the Great Fire of London in 1666. Do you think we learned any lessons and are better equipped for the pandemics of today and the future? Do you believe the theory that the Great Fire wiped out the plague? Let us know what you think in the comments section. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss an episode. Farewell for now, and thank you for watching.